Hey guys, my name is Logan, founder and leader of the Oceanic Architecture build team and the Oceanic Islands Project. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Bedrock Inspiration Series, where today I'm showcasing this modern house right in front of us. I'm really excited to show this since I've got some new design features which I've been trying out, which I'll show you when I take you on a thorough tour of this house. I'll tell you what I like and what I don't like about it, and then I'll give it an OCA score. And for more on my thoughts on this, you can click the link below to go to my blog when you can see a written review of the house. Anyways, let's begin with the tour. Alright, I'll first start off by talking about the exterior. I would say all around the exterior is nice, nothing more really. It's a little bland on all sides if I'm being honest, but what makes this exterior look so nice are the shapes and the front and the back. You can see here that there are two P shapes here, and they're intercepted by the glass which goes over the roof and carries over to the back of the house. The back of the house is essentially the same story as the front. It looks a little more striking though, thanks to all the palm trees and the flowers. As for the sides, they're pretty bland, not much really going on either side of the house. So let's enter the house through these gates here to get into the house. This is one of the new design features I'm trying out. The gate is actually ladders with barrier blocks behind them. Anyways, here is sort of a garage just with no door. This makes the front look way better this way. There's a lot more space here for cars. There's just one here at the moment, but you can easily get at least 4. The block you're seeing here is the only other block used on the entire exterior of this house apart from glass. It's actually basalt, which is retextured, and I really like it. I wanted to keep it a white theme for the exterior, but it doesn't have to be too plain, and basalt does exactly that job. I should also point this out too. This is a part of the new features for this house. This is the head that is being retextured into a camera, and there's an iron frame behind it which is retextured to be invisible. This enables me to do loads more stuff with items, and you'll see a lot more of them in a minute when we go inside the house. Alright, we're at the front entrance here, which is this glass strip going all around the house, which I pointed out a minute ago. Anyways, as we go in, you can see that this house actually looks a lot bigger than it may look on the outside. The interior downstairs is basically all open plan with no walls at all really. We'll start off here in the living area, where you can clearly see I've used barrier blocks for the sofas. I'd say my favourite part about this area is the flooring, which is this spruce wood. That's also been retextured, and I just love it so much. It's just so modern. Anyways, you can see more barrier blocks have been used here again for the ladders. This time they're intended to look like blinds, and we've also got a hanging TV from the ceiling. Here is one of 2 dining areas downstairs. This is the part I dislike the most about the interior because it just looks a little empty and plain around here. In the centre of the downstairs is a snooker table. No, it's not a pool table. This is why it looks bigger than it usually would. And here is my favourite part of the entire interior, the bar area. The reason this is my favourite is because of the spruce wood used here. It really gives this interior an ultra modern look to it. At first I used quartz here, but it made the interior look way too plain and boring. So I decided to go with this spruce wood because it contrasts with pretty much every wall in the house. It's just so nice. As for what's here, you've got some cups here. Obviously with some stools as well, and obviously the alcohol storage cupboard, which is actually birch wood trapdoors retextured to this glass effect. And there's also an iPad. Yes, we've actually got iPads now. Behind the bar is just the downstairs bathroom with a toilet and the sink. And moving on to the other side of the house is the main dining table. The table itself, as you can see, again has barrier blocks. with some spruce seats, and with this sort of wall behind it. It's intended to be a wall but not a physical wall, more like a separation between the rooms so that the downstairs isn't too open. And here's the kitchen. At first this looks pretty boring, but if you look closely, the materials used are actually really nice. The countertops are these beautiful quartz bricks which are obviously retextured. They kind of look like marble or granite in my opinion. And the quartz bricks have this really nice sort of black tiles on top. That's actually pink carpet. Yes, that is really pink carpet. The cooking area of the kitchen also has quartz bricks used in the wall here, as you can see, apart from behind the oven which has the black tile surround. And as you can see, this oven has actual frying pans on top of it. This again, thanks to the invisible item frames. And there's also an extractor fan here so that you don't get condensation on the windows. There's also a giant fridge here for the oven and a little open storage here. And that pretty much concludes the downstairs, so let's move upstairs. So believe it or not, there's actually 2 staircases here, and you may not have even noticed where they are. That's because they're hidden really well so that it doesn't interrupt the interior. The 2 staircases are here and also directly opposite on the other side. Anyways, let's go upstairs. And here we are. The hallway is a little empty in my opinion, but I've tried to make it feel not as open with a load of paintings on the wall here. There's 5 bedrooms in this house, but they're all pretty similar, so I'm just going to show you one of them. And here's what most of the bedrooms look like. The flooring is this beautiful spruce wood again, which I keep going on about. The beds are also made from the spruce wood, and they have carpet on top of them. All the walls in this bedroom are also white, so it was important to make them a bit more characteristic. Behind the bed are these sort of shapes going in some sort of pattern. On this wall is a button decoration which in my opinion actually looks pretty cool. And then on the opposite side is this giant painting. The actual wall here itself is packed ice, which is obviously retextured. Behind that packed ice wall is a wardrobe area, and then on the other side is the bathroom. Every bathroom in this house has its own bathroom. In all of these bathrooms are a toilet, a sink and a shower. The bathrooms have the beautiful quartz bricks as the flooring and on the wall, and there's also more spruce wood used on this wall. Like I said, most of these bedrooms are near enough the same, so that's most of the upstairs shown, but there's one more room here. In this room is a mixture of things. There's a mini gym here with a couple of treadmills and a couple of weights. There's also an office area / gaming area, and there is literally a PlayStation controller here. Not only do we have iPads now, we've also got controllers. But my favourite part of this room is this one here. It's a steam room. It's crazy, but this house literally has a steam room. It's small, but it's big enough for a house this size. I absolutely love this block, by the way. It's retextured lapis block, I think, and I love how it looks. It almost looks wet with the reflection effect it has. Anyways, that's pretty much concludes the interior of this house. So let's move outside. Alright, here we are at the back of the house. We go down these steps and you're right on the beach. There's not really much to talk about here other than the fact you have these 2 giant apartment blocks here, which I'll talk about in a future video. And if we go to the side of the house, you have your own pool, and of course I had to use the spruce wood for it because why wouldn't I? And on the other side of the house is just a garden area. Although it may not look much, it has a big impact on the house's character. And that concludes the tour of this house. So let's move on to what I like and what I don't like about it. I like how the barrier blocks have been used to improve the interior design. I like that the house looks bigger on the inside than it actually does on the outside. And I like how the glass is being used on the exterior. It has a massive impact in a good way on how the house looks. I don't like the second dining area. It's the only part of the house in my opinion that looks pretty empty and plain. I don't like the location of the house because of those giant apartment blocks. It can be quite intimidating to look at from the beach. And I don't like the lack of depth used on the sides of the house. I could definitely have done a better job with it. And that's what I like and what I don't like. And now it's time to give this house an OCA score. Starting off with the exterior in blocks, the exterior has some good blocks used in it, but in my opinion, not too striking and it gets a 5 out of 10. Moving on to colours, the exterior basically only has white and black in it, which is basically standard these days, and it gets a 5 out of 10. Next up is shapes. This is what essentially makes this house look as good as it does. But the shapes used in the front and the back, it wouldn't be a good exterior, but the lack of shapes on the sides hurt the score a little bit, and it gets a 7 out of 10. Then we have lines. The glass sign in the hallway has a great impact on the styling of the exterior, and there's also a couple more lines which are less noticeable. It gets a 7 out of 10. Finally, character. The house looks nice, nothing more. The design isn't really much special in my opinion, but it's good enough and it gets a 5 out of 10, giving a total exterior score of 29 out of 50. Moving on to the interior, starting off with features. This house has a lot of great features with some new introductions, and it gets a 9 out of 10. Quality is very good, but it could be better, and it gets an 8 out of 10. Comfort is very good when you consider how open everything is, especially downstairs, and it gets a 9 out of 10. Practicality is amazing for a house this size. When you consider the features it has, with a good amount of space for parking, and the fact it has more bedrooms than the mansion I recently reviewed, it gets a 9 out of 10, only voting a 10 because there isn't much land area. Finally, character again. The interior of the house is beautiful. It has a great combination of blocks, however parts are still a little bland, and it gets a 7 out of 10, giving a total interior score of 42 out of 50. Add it all up and the OCA score is 71 out of 100, which places it here among other houses I've reviewed. In a nutshell, this house probably has the best interior I've ever built. It's fantastic, but the exterior hurts it because it's too bland and plain, especially on the sides. But other than that, I can't really follow it for anything else. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on more beautiful houses like this one. My name is Logan, founder and leader of the Oceanic Architecture build team and the Oceanic Islands Project, and I'm signing off. Until next time, peace out.